Hey besties, let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? I don't know who is who, but honey, freaking Frack is back and ready to attack. This is the Fei Fei I like. I didn't like that Married to Medicine Fei Fei. I like the Real Housewives of Atlanta Fei Fei. I did. Hey, besties. Welcome. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I recap your favorite reality shows weekly. Now let's kiki and ha ha and get into another episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's season 16, episode 12. The Frack is back. Well, there is my answer. Portia is Frick, Fei Fei is Frack, because the Frack is back. Okay, I love it. I love it. Besties, do we like the title of the episode? It's cute. My thumbnail is going to change. It is going to be what Phaedra said at the end of this episode. But how would you rate this week's episode, besties? Um, it's been, you know, interesting nonetheless. Cynthia is the friend of, right? Her and Shamia have traded places. She's the friend of. Shamia is the peach holder. Okay. And Portia has been acting like a friend of to the show all 10 episodes. It was until last week when she finally clocked in as a housewife. So, yeah, I'm going to rate this week's episode. Angela still got her shade. She was talking about Brit's mouth being extra large. Yeah, yeah. Let's do a 7.5. I got to use my halves. A 7.5. Besties, drop down in the comments to let me know what you rate this week's episode. And I want to say shout out and thanks to all my new subscribers. Welcome. Hello. I'm your bestie, your mine. When you comment on what you thought about the episode and the characters. Don't come for me, okay? We grown and we're friends, so you comment on how you feel about the folks in the episode. Don't comment on how you feel about how I feel about it, okay? Because I will introduce you to the block party. Because there's a block party you know nothing about, but you will learn. I'll be like Brit and invite you to a party and don't feed you. A mess. So let's get into it. Shamia's best friend Kelly, Shamia's new best friend Kelly, comes over to her house. Kelly wants Shamia to help her host a girls' trip to Grenada. I've never been to Grenada, but I've been to the Caribbean, but I haven't been to Grenada. So I'm interested in seeing what's what with Grenada. And this is why I like the housewives, right? Kelly says she has friends there, but she's never been. Okay, well, how did you meet them, girl? So anyway, she calls her connection Randall. He's on the tourism board. He's handsome, he got a cute little accent. And so they've been affected by the hurricane. So they want to go and help aid in relief, the people of Grenada. And I think that's so wonderful. My group, we did that too when we went to Ghana last summer. We took school supplies, toys, shoes, and everything. We collected everything that a kid would enjoy. And when I tell you the love and the fascination and the purity of children being happy to see you and the love, that special moment, it just brings tears to your eyes. And it's good to be good to others. It's really good. So keep that in mind when you travel abroad, besides, like Europe But I mean, just when you travel to these wonderful countries in the Caribbean, just know that they're third world and they need some help. But I mean, your tourism is helping too, but that's not going to the people who are being affected by hurricanes and lack of education and water and things like that. So I love this. And this is why we love Housewives, right? Because they're like, yeah, we're going to give them money. We're going to do all this. So Randall was like, yes, the diabetic patients need your help. We need toiletries and we need clothes. And of course, money, honey. So Kelly is over. She wants to celebrate. She got bottles. Her divorce date is coming up. It's been a long 2.5 years, honey. The drama has been dramaing and it's draining, physically, emotionally, mentally. It's hard, especially when you have 4 children that you're raising. 3 of them are with her, between her and her husband. So this is hard because she probably has grown to hate this man and she has to be, mutual or in the middle or neutral, yeah, for her kids, right? Honey, her attorney wants $158,000. That's what she has to pay in attorney fees. So Portia goes to look for homes, honey, because she is homeless. She's houseless, honey. Yeah. So I believe her mom must have bought her Duluth house. Sounds like it's Diane's. It's not Portia's anymore. It's Diane's. But I don't know, but it sounds like it. Oh yeah, because Diane made a reference that the house they went to see was bomb. I think it was like 7. I don't know because they was flashing back to when her and Simon bought their house. So anyway, this home that they went to see is huge. So Diane made a reference like she need to sell her house and move in. So they looking at homes. Portia is overwhelmed because this divorce is different than the last one. The last time with Cordell, she walked away with nothing because she says, she submitted to him and she did everything old fashioned. And so Cordell, when he was done with Portia, honey, he called over to Diane's house and told Diane he was dropping all of Portia's stuff at her mama's house the next day. So she didn't have to go to court. She didn't have nothing because she didn't fight for nothing. She left with nothing, and that was that on that. With Simon, she's lining herself up much better. So she wants to get into a place where her and PJ can be okay and be all right. Because when they go to court and they fight, she doesn't want to just have a short end of the stick, and she want to be stable. She want to be already set. She want to have somewhere to go, lay her head, and be fine. Let the games begin, Simon. But I guess that's on hold because he's detained. And your president didn't fired everybody, so we don't know how long he gonna be in there. So she tells him that she's going to Grenada with the girls, and her and Shamia, they talked, and they was like, they not explaining nothing to nobody about their friendship. And I was like, stand up there, Portia. Y'all saw the referee Diane over there, like, okay, that okay, baby, okay, you ain't side eyeing now. You're with your messy self, and I want to know what happened. What did Shamia's mama do to you? You know, it got something to do with some man. I'm sure of it. Okay. So they are in a good place. Portia is like, they just need to talk to the girls and let them know that they're good now. And Portia just wants to love on everybody. If you don't want love, then go on about your day. And I agree with that. So then we get a little scene of Kelly, Chloe, and Cha Cha getting massages. Okay. And that boy was really massaging that dog's little face, hair, ears. He massaged her eyelash off. Child, that poor dog. Cha Cha, blink one time with your left eye if you want us to call the people to come get you. Because I want to know, did you run away or was you really stolen? So Shamia goes to V103, the radio station in Atlanta, and she has a little quick interview with Big Tigger and Jazzy McBee. They tell her, honey, that Drew dropped another song. So Shamia is shading Drew. And she's like, never heard of them. She said, I never heard y'all play it on air. Like they didn't play it at their radio station. And they all like, ooh, the shade. Y'all knew, y'all watched the show. Y'all already know. You know Atlanta is small and big at the same time. And I just want to know, besties, what is the Drew hate about? Like, why do we all just hate Drew? What is the I'm just like starting to piece this together. I didn't, I try to, stay neutral. So I can just say what I need to say when I need to say it, right? And it's like Drew is talented. She's an actress. She's a singer. Why are y'all hating on her? Like, goodness gracious. So the little shade was thrown, because you remember Drew called Shamia a lap dog. Arf, 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 baby. And so Shamia calls Drew a lion AB. Okay? You know what I'm saying. So Britt is hosting her Polo Classic event. She's going to have it at a country club. And this is where she's going to, launch her loungewear and her shapewear. Now that her insurance license is on hold because of Kenya, now she has time to work on this project. So her project is called Bare and Naked. That's her brand. And so she says, when you wear it, you can barely feel it and you feel naked, like it's real smooth and soft and not too tight and uncomfortable. So, okay, that's cute. And I'm almost curious, besties, do you have her? We don't, but I don't even know if it's out. Let me see. I'm gonna look later because I think I don't want to hold y'all for a whole hour. So Angela and Charles goes to check out investment property number 4. It is not ready to be sold after some old bootleg dude told her a month ago. She gave him a list of everything that she needed to be fixed. He told her then that it would take 2 days to get all this stuff done. And when she puts it on the market, he is 100% sure. I mean, 99.9% sure that the house will sell in 10 days. Well, it's a month later. They ain't fixed nothing, still on the market, still in debt. She has reduced the price of this home from $499,000 to what she paid, $338,000. And Charles is like, yeah, we need to be closing on stuff. So inside, she tells Charles that her mom is moving out. They getting their own house. And he like, well, why they didn't buy this house? It's like, Charles, have you seen the house? You in it? Look around. Don't nobody want the house. I wouldn't even want it. So she apologizes to her husband for giving him the blues on the fallout between him and her mother. She took her mom's side of the story, didn't even listen to him, never heard him out. And so she's crying a little bit. She says, she's sorry. She apologizes. And he says, that's good. That's good. Very well. And he said, yeah, because I don't like going back and forth and back again, especially now with nobody mama. How that's going to look? And so she's been riding him about it. Every time, mom's come around, make sure you speak. Did you say hi to her? Did you look her in her face and say, hey, And so they hug. She said, I need a hug. And he said, go on over there and cry with your mama. And RIP to mom, because we learned last week that she passed away. RIP to Angela, her family and friends, and whoever's affected by this loss. Grief is hard, loss is difficult. And I know losing a mom is rough. Yeah, so let's keep her in our prayers. So she also tells him that they've been invited to Britt's golf event. And so she said, we haven't been seeing eye to eye. So Charles is like, so I don't have to go? Golly. Charles, what I've noticed in this episode, he's gotten a little more comfortable. I believe he has just been is weirded out that he has these cameras in his home. He got to perform or not perform in front of these cameras, and he's choosing not to. And like I've said already, I really believe that Charles's homies have been dogging him out about being on the show. Maybe teasing him like, "Oh, Charles is a housewife. Let's send him a basket of peaches." I could tell they probably been hoorahing him because the way he acted, like he's uncomfortable. He didn't want this. He doing it for her because they in debt. She out here got these properties she ain't selling. So yeah, let's go and get another bag. But he don't want to be on there. But he's getting comfortable just a little bit. He's being a little, he's getting used to it. He's probably listening to the comments and trying to shape his little act up because everybody feels like he hates her. And he doesn't. He just turned into an old grumpy man. So they hug. So he don't want to go to the event. He don't want no parts of Brit because remember Brit brought up the him having an outside baby. She brought that to the circle of friends. So production asks Brit, what does her shapewear have to do with being on a golf course and all that? What do they have to do with each other? She said it don't have to go together to make sense. Oh, it doesn't? She was like, I just want the ladies to dress up and get along for once. So she said, we've been very ratchet lately. No, you have been very ratchet lately, talking about whips and pow pows. And so, and having, poles in your mouth. And so she said, it's time for some classy and demure things. And honey, we're going to get into the class and the class list and the demure list of this event. You saw it. Wait, what? So the ladies come. We got Shamia and Kelly first. They come dressed up, Shamia. She would be an example of what a label whore is. This girl just wear designers. It don't have to look cute, match, make sense, be in season. It don't matter. She gonna slap it on. This girl just, she gonna let you know what she wearing. That's for sure. So they come like they go into the Kentucky Derby, right? So they got on their lace, their dresses, their heels, hats, fascinators. They just cute. Gloves, purses. Just they come to sip champagne and have hors d'oeuvres. Britt wants them to go golfing. They like, wait, what? Like, girl, their heels gonna be sinking in the grass. Like, what are you doing? It's hot out there. Because if I believe correctly, this is July in Atlanta. So they don't know what they're doing. They don't golf, They in the golf cart. They don't know how to stop it. Kelly talking about, oh my God, I'm gonna need a neck brace. They're sweating. Shamia like, my nose is sweating, my mustache is sweating. The other golfers don't know Britt because Britt trying to act like she's about this country club life. They don't know her. Child, they just want to go in and get some air, some food, and some champagne. Britt coming undone, child, her earring falling. she can't bend down, her skirt too short. It's just a lot going on. So Portia shows up and she like, I know I'm not the first one. Where they at? They out there, tussling with the golf. She don't know why she here, so she asking one of Britt's friends, like, what is this event? What are we doing? What's going on? So she kind of telling her, her line is out, And Portia like, oh, okay. So now production's teasing Portia because her and Britt's brand have similar names. Portia's is what? Go Naked, and Britt's is Bare and Naked. And so Portia said, honey, don't put that together. I've been doing my thing for over 10 years. Put some spec on mine and put the re in the front. Okay? Respect. Okay? So Drew, Angela, and Charles show up, and Angela and Britt speak, and they hug. Okay, good, 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 good. Okay. So Drew wonders if there will be any naked bears inside at the brunch because what are we doing? And child production put a dancing bear on the screen, child, and he pumping his arms like, throw your hands up, throw your hands up, throw your hands up. Girl, that was hilarious. Love the production that they're on, that they're doing. I looked last week, but I don't even remember. Is it Truly doing this or is it Shed Media? Because I think it's Shed. Anyway, You guys can look it up. I'm trying to stay under. I'm trying to get this done in 45 minutes. I'm trying not to hold you. So Auntie Cynthia shows up. They like, you didn't just get off the plane. She like, yes, I did, girl. You know I be in LA, honey. So Britt is arguing with the staff behind the scenes because they doing everything wrong. Only the ladies were supposed to have brunch, not the whole invite list. And baby, I'm like, wait, what? And did y'all see when they got back out with the event? Did you see the people in the background? There was a dude on the phone. He probably was like, "Oh, they not feeding us. Come on." He probably was calling his Uber to come get him. And a girl, she looked like, ugh. I mean, it was so classless. So everyone else was just supposed to get cocktails. Oh, okay. So, Britt, what? You wanted to launch your products of shapewear and loungewear at a country club. You wanted the girls to go golfing. They all dressed up like they for high tea or like the Kentucky Derby or high tea, you know. And now you're just gonna feed them and not the other people in the room. How is that supposed to work? They supposed to eat in front of people who are not eating? You didn't have peanuts on the table? I guess not peanuts because a lot of people are allergic. Pretzels on the table? You didn't have bread and butter on the table? Like, girl, what? So she explains this to the ladies. So, honey, Portia was like, well, honey, I can eat my food fast. They won't even see me. Child, I said, I know that's right. Cynthia was like, well, I'll share my salmon. Just like an auntie. And then Drew was like, well, girl, you can pack my food up to go. They ain't got to even see the food, okay? How tacky, Britt. You could have at least ordered some pizzas and cut them up. I mean, something. Girl, what? Why did the people... Okay, I don't know. How did this contract with the caterers work out? How is this classy and demure? The communication was lost between you and the caterers. Do they still get paid? And how does that even work? Like, how does the caterers have more menus than food? Because the thing was, the caterers or the event planners, I don't know who printed out the menus, but they put menus out for everybody on each table to seem like they were being served. And I remember correctly, this event was at 12 p.m. Baby, it's lunchtime, Britt. You have to feed people. Anytime you get people together, they assume they're going to eat. And the caterers don't seem smart. The planners don't seem smart. The hosts don't seem smart. How do you have an event with no food? So anyway, she's pre-launching her brand, child. She wants these people to listen to her while they starving and their stomachs is growling. People can't eat. I mean, sorry. People can't drink on an empty stomach. Okay? Okay, y'all, I didn't tell y'all that I went out last night. I took Bestie out to eat. We had a 5-star, 5-course. We had a 5-star meal, honey, and the drinks was pouring, and we had a good time. And I got home late, and I slept in late, and I'm still just heart just full. I don't know about y'all, but I ain't seen my Bestie in about 3 months. I haven't seen her since my birthday. And we just needed that 101 time and just talking and kiki. And girl, we had a time. So excuse me for having to apologize and speaking typos. Because, baby, I'm about to go back to sleep after this. I am tired. You hear me? And I need to drink my water. It's sitting right here. Okay, I just want to get that out to y'all. And I got to take a nap because I got to do Basketball Wives tonight. And I got to put the video out because I got to go to work tomorrow. Girl, let me hurry up. I hope y'all enjoying y'all Memorial Day. I mean, I don't know what I guess y'all barbecuing and everything. Okay, so back to the show. Thank you for the sidebar. That was a commercial break. Britt pre-launches her brand. She passes out girl, boxes to the ladies. Nobody else got a sample. And when I say box, I'm talking about a brown paper bag box. No tissue paper, no razzle dazzle, no bow, no ribbon, no cute. I'm talking about a brown paper box, just red. No razzle, no dazzle, just a plain old box. And they was talking. Shami was like, there ain't even no tissue paper in here. I'm like, it ain't no nothing. It's just a box. So Portia asked her what is her inspiration of starting her line. And so, but the girls, when they opened up the boxes, I will say they was like, okay. They all was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna wear this. They was all like, yeah, this is gonna be cool. And I watched the after show. Drew said she had hers on in her video, and Cynthia liked hers too. Cynthia, we'll get to that in a minute. So they love the shapewear, but honey, she gave Angela an extra large, and Angela did not appreciate that. She was like, you gave me an extra large. I think you got that wrong, honey. Then in her confessional, her mouth is an extra large. I know she need an extra large toothbrush to. I was like, girl. But Cynthia said in the after show, she said she got an extra large too, but she said she needs hers, so she don't know what Angela tripping on because Angela is taller than her. And I'm like, Angela, come on now, baby, it's clear you are 6 feet tall. She's not calling you big. She's just thinking you need an extra large for your height. Oh, Angela. So Britt explains how the shapewear. She said when she got her BBL, they put you in some old crappy, uncomfortable shapewear. So she wanted to make one that was nice, thin and comfortable. So she also had to put in there that she treated her staff to any plastic surgery in Miami for their birthday. So the girls was like, I want to work for you because yeah. Shamia was like, well, I need to work for you, honey, because I need to get my back fat gone. And she tells us that she's had her chest done because they was down to the ground, honey. So I guess probably from breastfeeding two babies. So Britt asks Angela and Charles, how are they enjoying the event? And so Charles like, oh, I'm having a great time. And Angela's like, I'm happy to be here. And Charles doesn't have a side baby. Everybody's like, who was like, Angela? Come on now, Angela. When I tell you this girl is stirring the pot, she is the bone collector. She is the new Sheree. You hear me? She gonna keep this thing stirring and going. She's like Sheree and Kenya mixed into one. Do y'all miss Kenya yet? Okay. Britt might not be coming back because, baby, the way she threw this event, we don't need it, boo. She does not know what she doing. So Britt was like, oh, and I'm not one of Charles's whores either. And so Charles said, well, I don't mess with whores. Oh, I was just being funny. Oh, it wasn't funny. Portia says her favorite quote, who said that? Who said that? Britt is like, Angela said I would be one of your whores. Charles is like, he put his hand up to her like, stop. And it's amazing how they were sitting across from each other, and Charles don't even have it here for Britt, but they put them across from each other. He put his hand up like, stop your mess, okay? So Britt and Angela agrees to move forward in their friendship, so that was good. Drew says her and Britt had some disconnect too, so she wants to have a conversation. Kelly tells Drew, oh yeah, when y'all talk, you need to tell the truth, Drew. Drew was like, I do tell the truth. Kelly and Shamia says Drew is a liar. Child, when Shamia called Drew Nokio, talk about her nose needs to grow. Drew Nokio. I said, not Drew Nokio. I love it. That may be her name. I need to write that down so I can remember Drew Nokio. Angela explains to Britt that Drew and Kelly got into a back and forth and back again at her son's birthday party at her house 2 weeks ago. Shamia asks, how did she catch a stray being called a lap dog? So Drew is like, well, you took back some information that wasn't true. So we're going back to when she told Shamia about, her songs paying for PJ's college. So Drew's like, you took something that wasn't true. You took my words and twisted them in effort to stay in Portia's good graces. I don't respect that. Shamia says, that's harsh, you know, saying that your music was going to pay for PJ's whole college, you know. And she was like, Drew was like, well, that was gonna be a big blessing on the other side, you know? And so Shamia told her Portia's college is already paid for. And she said, oh, well, it could pay for her snacks or something. And let me just say this. And then, wait, Drew says, you put fire on something that was already smoking. Let's stop right there. Now, I've seen comments where people feel like what Drew said wasn't malicious, it wasn't condescending. There was, Shamia's putting too much on it. Shamia's reaching. No, she's not, in my opinion. Now, listen to this. You got to be careful. So, like, Drew and Portia are not cool, right? So, you're going to sit here and talk to Portia's best friend. When you talk to her and you know you're the ops, it's best to not even bring Portia's name up, correct? Shamia can bring her up and then you can respond. But you don't bring Portia up. And secondly, you don't bring up her daughter. Now, whatever you want to say, Drew, that you said it was a positive thing, it can seem condescending to Portia's best friend because that's not something you say to Portia's best friend. You could have said that to your mom, to your sister, to Angela. It would have got back though. But I mean, you can't say that to the source's best friend because it seems condescending. It sounds like a shot, a stray. It sounds like it. It sounds like it. And then you're gonna then when she shuts you down with her college tuition is already paid for, then you said, oh well, it can pay for her snacks. Snacks? You could have said something else, but you shouldn't have said anything. So you guys can say what you say, and I would love to hear your reasoning. But being that you're saying it to Portia's best friend, you are being condescending. It was nasty. And I ain't gonna say it was nice nasty. It was just you shouldn't have said it. Be careful. You can't talk about Portia, to her best friend when y'all funking. And you need to leave the kids' name, you need to leave the kids out of it, period. And you have children and you have kids, Drew. So Drew says, honey, Shamia is still a lap dog. So they go back and forth and back again. Shamia is starting to act like Portia. We see whether they blame it on being from Decatur, whatever. Shamia turns her back on Drew because she don't want to hear what she got to say. I'm not listening to that. I'm not listening to that. Arf, 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 arf. And then she tells her, you can kiss my A, B-I-T. Whoa. And you know what's so funny to me? These girls be going back and forth so much. I don't even know if you heard her calling her out her name because, honey, me and Shamia would have had to go outside and really discuss this. You throw it calling me a B, all like it's just like you can. You know what I'm saying? Drew was like, how old are we? Child, Shamia said, is that in dog years or in human years? B. Called her a B again. I'm sure she heard it that time. And it's like, why are these women not addressing people calling them out their names? Huh? I'm from where we would address. We didn't hear nothing but the last word. Okay, I didn't hear nothing about dog years and human years. All I heard was BIT, and I would have addressed that with you, Shamia. So Britt stands up and come over, and so she stands up and she's like, hey. She was like, y'all gotta take them sidebar conversations outside. This is a classy event. You know what I'm saying? I know. I'm not feeding you guys. The other guys, you guys behind me and over there and over there. I know, and my friends are here being ghetto and hollering and arguing and cursing and everything. And hey, she put the stops to that. But don't say this is a classy event, Britt. Just say this is my event. Y'all got to take y'all sidebars outside. Cynthia leaves. She like, if y'all want to work this out, you got to go and work it out. But I'm going to get up out of here. Kelly, Drew, Angela, and Charles, they was gone. Bye. Everybody left. Kelly said she was going back home, go to sleep. So Drew and her road manager goes to get her record deal signed. She's an official artist to somebody's label. I guess Dennis's. Dennis sent his bottle. He has a whiskey or whatever. It's sitting right in the middle of the table. He's gonna join in the celebration on Zoom because Portia told him he better not show up, but he gonna do what he gonna do with a little respect for Portia. So he'll just zoom in. But she wants to have a little talk with Dennis before the celebration begins, honey, because she wants to address the nonsense that she's been hearing about, before they continue to start to work together, like officially. She want to address this wanting to sleep with him rumor. You know, she want to sleep with him for free studio time. So he calls in or whatever, or they call him. Dennis laughs like he always does. Dennis denies it like he always does. But it's not his thing. This Portia that's starting this, that's keeping this going. He said, we are all business, Drew. Drew, like, yeah, because you like my brother. I ain't trying to do all that. He like, yeah, studio time do cost money, but we on business. Yes. So they cool. But now Drew says she want to sit down and talk to Portia. Cheers to Drew. Yay. So, honey, child. Honey. Portia goes over to Faye-Faye's house. Hey, frickin' Frack. Frickin' Frack are back, ready to attack. They are together again, honey. So they do a whole bunch of flashbacks of Phaedra in the past on Real Housewives. It was when 2010 when she was just the Southern Belle of Georgia and she didn't do certain things and everything was just ew to her, where she used to turn her nose up about everything. Then they talked about how she was, they showed clips of her being in the garage with Apollo when he was about to go to jail. And, the whole, the quote, go away from me with this, Apollo. And how she was lying on Portia and Candy about that dungeon, the S dungeon. And then how she was kikiing with Nene and all this and all that. So we find out, honey, Phaedra is still messing with Shaq. He is 30. Well, in the show, she said 30, but on Watch What Happens Live, he's 31 now. It's casual. They nothing serious, but they sounds like he come over and handle his business, but they kick it. They just cool. So, honey, Portia and Phaedra are just kikiing and enjoying each other and just reminiscing, and they are just so happy. Portia, not what? Phaedra wants the tea. So she says she likes Kelly because she's little. She likes all things little. She like little mama, little Wayne, little baby, little Boosie, little Kim. She like everything little. And so she knows that Kelly and Britt are best friends. So they bring up Britt. And Phaedra says she's a woman of the city. A woman of the city. And countries too. This is the Phaedra I miss. She got more bodies than an Undertaker. Dang. Britt. Wow, Britt. Wow. And so she said, and so now someone married her. Honey, that chicken pot pie must be good and creamy. Honey, the way I hollered with the chicken pot pie, I gotta get my post-its. Here they are. I gotta get my post-its. I gotta write Drew Pinocchio. I gotta write chicken pot pie. And this is the Phaedra we like, because I didn't like that Married to Medicine Phaedra, but she's back, honey, like she never left with her shady self. So Shamia, she says, Phaedra says she's good people. And Watch What's Happened Live, she says, I don't know what she keep talking about how she knows these people from the showroom. But she says Shamia is cool. She gives her Hawks tickets to the game with, because she got the boys. And Shamia has sent a cake to her house, so she likes Shamia a lot. And so I wonder if that's going to cause a rift between her and Portia, but I don't think so because in this moment they're cool. But we'll see. We got a few more episodes to go. So she says, Drew, they talk about Drew. She said, well, here go Portia. She working with my baby daddy. So Phaedra's like, she's selling hot dogs. She said, no, but she want to sit on one. Shut up, Portia. It's giving you making this stuff up and you really running with this narrative and it's really giving that you want to sit on Dennis's hot dog again. That's what it's giving. That's exactly what it's giving. You got that princess mentality. You got that princess personality, and Simon has bruised your ego, and you may need Dennis to cheer you up. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. So, honey, Faye just said, now, wait a minute. I didn't know Drew was on hot dogs. I thought she was on tacos. Y'all, I'm like, Phaedra, girl, slow down. I can't take all this. I just stopped laughing at the hot dogs and the. Now, wait, what? You know what the tacos mean, right? She talking about Ty Young, like she on women. Tacos. Mm. And so the Phaedra says, well, us in Atlanta, we are very fluid people. And I said, what does she mean by we? Phaedra, you got something to tell us? So Faye says, well, Charles is married, but is he married to Charles? We don't know who his wife is, honey. They just cracking up and kikiing and ha-haing. And this is what I miss. Portia misses it. I miss it. And I'm sure y'all do too. So they call Shamia. They like put her on the phone. Like, guess who house I'm at? They all, what's up, Phaedra? So then she like, she's available. She want to come to Grenada. So Shamia, I liked how Shamia was like, well, let's call Kelly because I'm the co-host. Let's call the host because I'm just the co. So they called Kelly. Kelly like, hey, Faye. Now remember, Phaedra wouldn't let Apollo's wife call her Faye, but she let Kelly because she liked little people. How you like little people and Shek is about 7 feet tall? Huh. We got to look into that. But anyway, they say, yes, girl, come to Grenada. I can't wait. We would love to have you. Let's do it. We're going to have fun. So it was a yes, honey. So Phaedra called Kelly strawberry shortcake on steroids. I wonder what she going to say about that. She called Drew Zilla fluid friend. She's the fluid friend. She called Britt the woman of the town. And she called Shamia sweet Shamia. And Angela is the secret wife of Charles Oakley. So apparently, on Watch What Happens Live, let me go through my notes. Phaedra said Britt needs an event planner for that event. She'll give her some grace. This is her first event on the show. So Andy asked, whose side are they on? Because she was on Watch What Happens Live with Lala Anthony. With Lala Anthony, because she's on the Shy, I think, or something. So they both said they was on Shamia's side. And so Phaedra said she sees both sides, but she gonna lean towards Shamia. Phaedra also hopes that Shamia and Portia can get it back together 100%, get their friendship back. She says Angela Oakley has a beautiful spirit. She from Chicago. So she got like she's a hard cookie to crumble, but she's got a nice spirit. They both said they love Charles. He's a good guy. They were like, oh, so Andy says, so did he date Sheree? Honey, Lala was like, let me get my drink and let me get mine too. Lala said, let me get my drink. And so oh God, Phaedra was like, yes, they dated. Mm-hmm. I like the realness. We just get good answers, right? So Andy asked Faye what's her first impressions of the ladies. So Shamia, cool. She comes to the showroom, gives out the tickets to the Hawks game, sent me a cake to my house. She cool. Drew, tardy for the party. She's always late. Angela, I like her. She knows she's a hard cookie to crumble because she's from Chicago, but she likes her. Kelly, she's so tiny and cute. Britt, she loves to be naked, but Phaedra does too. What about Michael, her husband? He's interesting. And baby, freaking Frack is back. Oh, he even asked about Cha Cha, the dog. She was like, lots of hair. So then Phaedra gives the new wives 5 tips on being on the show. And I'm seeing here like it is episode 12, child. The season is almost over, but go off, Phaedra. So here go her 5 tips. Dress better than the occasion. Keep your receipts. Stay booked and busy. Make sure you can win your battles. So pick your battles wisely. And make sure your skin is as tough as your tongue, honey. Okay, cool. So on the after show, let me hear. Phaedra says she knew Kelly from the showroom. What showroom are they talking about? But anyway, her and Britt has mutual friends. That's how she knew about her. She don't know Druzilla, but she knows Ralph because they got, the same friend circles. They used to have the same managers, whatever. Cynthia and Drew has worn Britt's shapewear. They like it. Drew wore hers on her latest video. Cynthia said she needed an extra large, so Angela should, be okay with her size also. Shamia says she kind of regrets the way she reacted to Drew when she called her a lap dog. She wasn't trying to do all that, but whatever. Drew says she has been singing since she was 13. I think Babyface signed her. Then she got with Vincent Herbert and was in a girls group called something. And then she was signed on Slip and Slide and did some songs with Trina. So she's been around. She got a cute little resume, y'all. And I don't know, when I think about it, why are the girls coming for Drew? Because she's a liar? Well, should everybody be lying? They be lying, honey. Tell me what you think about them coming after Drew, making her be like she's just so horrible. But that was the end of the episode, besties. I'm trying to be under an hour. I'm at 40, almost 47 minutes, besties. Enjoy your Memorial Day. I'll be back later on tonight with Basketball Wives. And don't eat too much. All right. Bye, besties.